Awesome. How's everybody doing? Great. How's everybody doing? Great. Me too. I'm fired up, excited to be here. It's sunny outside, raining. It feels like it's raining some money in here. It is so beautiful. Now I know why Cody was smiling. All these beautiful people here today. Give this also a round of applause. You know, just before I get started, my goal in my ACN career was to share the stage with a gentleman, Cody Mackey. He's the reason why I got started in ACN is because when my brother saw this business, he went down to a training and Cody was there. He said, nobody makes it unless you go to a convention. And he said, I think I got to go to this convention. He went, got excited. And I always wanted to meet who he was. And I got to meet Cody, and I've just been following him. Not only do I want to be as good as Cody in ACN, but you could agree he's also a solid individual. I mean, family-wise, his spirituality, everything about Cody just resembles greatness, and that's what I want to follow. I was looking at my Facebook memories and said, follow the people that you want to become, and that's somebody I want to become, Mr. Cody Mackey. So I want to give it back to Circle Champion. That's a little bit about me. My name is James Beauvais, just a simple left-handed guy from Spring Valley, New York. Anybody from Rockland County? All right, fantastic. I got started in this business. I work for Verizon Wireless. I got started in this business because the person that showed the business, he said, James, do you have bills? How many people have bills in here? Would it be okay to get paid off of it? Yes. That's what I said. So I got started immediately. To date, we have over 200 business partners getting paid on close to 2,000 accounts. And it was all due to the training and support of people like Cody Mackey and the ACN system that we had with ACN. And here's what the system was about. Teamwork. Appreciate that. Here's what the system was about. One of them was acquiring customers. How many of you guys are happy that if you want to get paid, you got to get customers, right? How many are happy that, guess what, customers are in your own home? Right. Isn't that awesome? We're not here showing anybody a new bill or a new potion, lotion, or anything like that. These were things that we were paying anyway. And I was excited about that. So I'm just going to show you guys how to acquire customers. And the thing that I love about it, anybody that comes here, they're global leaders. Cody Mackey is all around the world. Customer acquisitions to date, I have over 90 customers. So you can really, I think I know what I'm doing just a little bit, right? Absolutely. And whoever said they're going for 100, me too. I'm going for 100 customers as well. And I'm going to show you guys the simplicity on how to acquire customers. First thing you get when you become an IBO, you get your online store. It's the live support, hosted, updated daily, products and service updates in all 50 states. And now we're in 26 countries. Si se puede. Yeah. I mean, it's only I know, but I'm excited. Here's what you want to do when you get started with ACN. Look, you want to think like a business owner. You can agree if you own a Ford dealership, we will be pretty weary if we see you come around with a Chevrolet, right? It'll be pretty funny, okay? So the same thing with you. You want to train yourself on how to become a customer. Prior to ACN, I had Optimum Cablevision, right? But we don't get paid off of that. So what I did is I cut that and I got DirecTV. What I learned is that Channel 4 and Optimum is the same as Channel 4 on Dish Network. The only difference, I get paid off of it. Make sense? All right? Build your belief. Look, when I got started with ACN and I got Dish Network, everyone said satellite does not work. I believed it because I didn't have it. But when I got it, Hurricane Sandy, you remember Hurricane Sandy? Everybody was out, but my dish was still working. So what it did for me, absolutely, it built belief that yes, this product does work and get you qualified. And more importantly, because I know you guys came out to understand, how do we get paid? You get paid off your bills. So does it make sense to get your own service? Yes. Why? Because what's going to happen when you pay your bill? You get money. You get paid, absolutely. And you have the necessary tools for success. This slide is awesome. But again, I'm simple, it kind of confuses me, but all it means is this. YBA, 2 points, and the person that introduced you to in the business of working with you, they're going to go over all the points. Points, see, this business is like basketball. We have 3-point services, 2-point services, and 1-point services. And I'm going to go through the services and their points. But if you take a look at this just breaks it down on how it works. All right, first service we're going to go over is digital home service. How many people have a home phone today? Here's the secret. Triple play means you have a home phone bill. You might not use it, but you are paying for it, okay? And now you can get paid off of it with ACN. If you get a new number, it's 1 point. How many points? 1. Absolutely. Port your number over, it's 2 points. And every time you make a call or somebody calls you, guess what happens to you? You're getting paid off of that service. All right? Here's why I got excited. Remember, I work for Verizon Wireless as a manager. I see 5-year-olds getting cell phones. I see grown adults cry when they can't upgrade to the new iPhone. So I know this is a service that you have to have. You gonna be right? How many people who in here does not have a cell phone? What? You don't? No, just kidding. That was just a joke. Would be like, wait, you don't have a cell phone? Oh my goodness. Look. You have one in your hand? Wireless done right. Here's what I know. Verizon Wireless is okay with companies like Flash Wireless because they don't have to chase the customer. All they do is collect the rent from us. So I got excited because not only do we have Sprint, we have Verizon, and I knew that no matter who you are, you had this bill. No matter where you, look, if you was to get your cell phone today, here in the hotel, and you was on your way right there close to Brooklyn, would you turn back and get it, or would you wait 6 months? You would turn back and get it, and now you can get paid on the service. We have unlimited talk and text, unlimited data, mobile hotspots, so on and so forth, but if it's free, it's for me. Go ahead and acquire 5 cell phone customers, and you can have a free cell phone bill. How does that sound to everybody? Great. How many people in here has a free cell phone bill? Give yourselves a round of applause. Now, the wireless service anywhere from 1 point to 4 points. We also have the device protection program. Speak to the person that invited you into ACN. They'll teach you how that works. But not only can you have the cell phone service with Flash Wireless, you also can protect it with insurance. We now offer that with ACN. Television service. I got excited because, again, it's not a new bill that we're bringing to your home. How many people has TV? How many people watch it? Even if you don't watch it, the bill still comes in, right? Yes. Absolutely. You could either go through Dish Network or you could go through DirecTV. Here's what happened to me. My sister said, you know what? I'm going to support you. What are the prices for Dish Network? I said, sis, that's a great question. Hold on 1 second. All I had to do was call this 1-800 number here. Chuck on the other side of the phone said, what's your IBO number? I gave it to him, and he said, pass the customer over. And Chuck just went to work, because Chuck hadn't made that commission. And I was on mute, like, get it, Chuck. Go, boy. Okay? And here's what happened. She became a customer. He set up the installation. He set up the billing. But here's what happened. Every time my sister paid that bill, I got a piece of that. How many people get excited about that? Absolutely. You can either choose Dish or you can choose DirecTV. If you're an NFL person like me, look, DirecTV offers free Sunday ticket. You can go online today and say, hey, anybody interested in having NFL Sunday ticket? See who responds them, take them to your online store, or call with the 1-800 number, and ACN takes care of the rest for you. All right? Home security. Home security is awesome. How many people have home security today? How many people don't have home security? Give me your address. No, just kidding. Vivid Home Security is awesome. Here's what I love about it. Not only can you be safe, but you can get paid off of this bill. Is this making sense to you guys? Yeah. Look, you're going to pay it anyway. Why not get paid off of it? Vivid is awesome. It's like an iPad on your wall. Yes. You could view it from your from your cell phone or your tablet. You know, this, thank God it happened now at 42 and not when I was 20, when I was 18, because I was in big trouble. Thank you, Vivid. Right? But look, your kids, you can watch them through your cell phone. All right? And Vivid, here's the beauty, too. Here's what I love, and I'm going to keep it real. You don't have to know all the prices on how it, on Vivid. You don't need to know exactly how it works. You just refer people here to this 1-800 number. And the person, Chuck, maybe Brian, or maybe Sally, she's going to go to work for you, set up all the installations for you. And every time they pay that bill, guess what happens to you? They get paid, absolutely. Now, a no via payment. How many people use their credit card today? Absolutely. Look, If you ever went to a bodega or anywhere that said it's a $10 minimum to swipe the card, see what happens is the merchant has to pay a processing fee to take it from your pocket and put it into theirs. How many of you guys would like to be a processing fee? How many of you guys would like to be a silent partner for your local deli or your dry cleaner? You know, I went out and there was a Haitian restaurant in Spring Valley, and I like eating there. They make pretty good food, and I gained a relationship with the owner. I said, hey, look, can I give you a free quote with my company to see if I can get you a lower cost on your processing fee for your merchant service? He said, no problem. If it's free, it's for me. Gave him the quote, Onovia made it, beat the price. I am now a silent partner with that Haitian restaurant. So from time to time, I go in the driveway and I sit there and I just look at everybody going in. And just say, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. But look, all I did was just offer the service. He would have took it, yes, or he wouldn't have took it. It didn't matter. I had the opportunity that I didn't have prior to joining ACN. That makes sense to everybody? Yeah. Absolutely. So think about where you shop today. Your dry cleaner or your where you eat. Just offer this service. ACN takes care of the rest of you. But if they do become the customer, trust me, you're going to be a happy person, all right? Now, merchant service is anywhere from 1 to 3 points. It's very simple. Like I said, just go right online, submit the quote, and Onovia takes care of the rest of you. How many people are excited for energy? Yeah. You guys remember when there used to be minutes on your phones? Remember that? Yeah, everybody smiling like, yeah, remember? They call you at 8:45, you're like, no, call me in about 15 minutes because it's free after we good, right? Here's what's happening with energy. We have unlimited energy. Think about this, you're sitting in a room that no one knows about unlimited energy, and we have our hands on it. Guess what? It's already here in New Jersey, making its way up to New York, where I live. Think about this. In the next 2 to 5 years, it's going to be normal to have unlimited energy. But guess who's here first at that meeting for unlimited energy? You are. You have the opportunity to get paid on a bill that everybody has to pay, but it's going to be a shift that you took advantage of because you were here. First buyer advantage. How many people are excited with that? Here's one thing I know. Here's one thing that I know about energy. Everybody has it. Either you live in an apartment with just electricity and no gas, you still pay that bill, right? And if you don't, guess what? Somebody is. I went out and got my church because I knew every Sunday morning they needed that light open, right? And I just asked the pastor, look, do me a favor, see if I can help you out with the services, and he did. You know, so I pray even harder for more people. No, just kidding. I'm just excited that every time that church pays the bill, I get a piece of that. So look, think about this, guys. Just really think about the opportunity that you guys are sitting on. You know, think about if you could acquire this hotel. We have a business partner that acquired Englewood Hospital. Do you think they need that energy on it? Wow. But how much is that bill? Wow. Absolutely. We all have that same opportunity with gas and electric. Here's what I love, 74 million potential customers. I was just excited that we were here and not here. But look at the bright side. When it gets here, we're still going to be at that advantage because we were here first. Yeah. Make sense? But since we're here, look, take advantage of it. Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York. Let's go out and ask your friends and family can do me a huge favor, and they will become your customer. Every time they pay that bill, guess what happens to you? Absolutely. You guys excited about getting paid on bills? Yes. So am I. Absolutely. Look, power your home. I always wanted a black card in my life. So when I joined ACN and they said, look, go out and acquire 10 services, you too can have a black card. It looks good, right, Mariana? Absolutely. I have a black card. I'm excited. It usually never makes it to me because my wife tends to get it before I do. But look, it comes in every single month. Or how did I do it? I acquired 10 gas customers, and they took the sum total, the average total of that bill, and gave me a black card for it. Then I went out and acquired 10 more electric customers and got another black card. So once a month, I get 2 black. My wife, somebody gets those 2 black cards every single month, but it comes only because I acquired a customer one time. Now you might be saying, well, I don't live in an area, or I don't pay gas and electric. Here's what I love about ACN. ACN said, you know what? Just get 2 more, and instead of a black card, we'll send you a check each month. How does that sound? Look, if you don't have gas and electric, it's okay. Just work a little bit harder. 2 more customers. You can get a check for the sum total of that supply chain. How does that sound to everybody? How does that sound to everybody? I think maybe you guys don't have any of these black cards, but wait till you get it. You're gonna be smelling like this, because it is awesome, all right? Now here's where it is. I'm gonna wrap it up with this. I work at Verizon and I'm a pretty good sales rep. Please don't come to my store, guys. I don't want to sell you, all right? Because if you say, James, give me a car charger, for some reason you have an iPad in your bag, or you might get one of these watches, it's because it's the sales experience that I had. Make sense? And that's what I did when I came into ACN. I had my salesman hat on. So I was trying to sell my sister, my mother, all my friends and family, and they were like, no thank you. So I had to come back to training to see what I was doing wrong. They said, James, did you use Favor Help Try? I was like, what was that? They was like, well, we trained you last week. So I said, all right, let me try it this week. And the result was a total difference. See, when I was selling my friend to become my gas electric business, he thought I was trying to sell him, switch him, or whatever the case may be. But when I changed it and said, hey, Patrick, can you do me a huge favor? And if you're my friend, you think I need to borrow money, watch the kids, or I need a ride to the airport. So he was cringing, and I said, look, I'm about to qualify for a promotion with the company I represent. And all I need is a few customers. You know, we're having our 4th child. It's real. I need some help. See, my friends, they know you, correct? They know it's real. And I said, look, I need you to help me out. If I could maybe save you a few bucks on some of the bills you're already paying for, and maybe even get some for free, will you do me a personal favor and check out my online store with me? And he said, of course I would, James. This is the same person that said no, but when he understood you doing me a favor, not to make a buck, but because my family needed help, he had no problem becoming my customer. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes. So I just need you guys to do me one favor. To say, can you do me a huge favor?
Can you do me a huge favor?
And that's what you just got to humble yourself to ask for that favor. It's funny, I've been saying it so much that my friends are now using that against me. They're like, James, can you do me? They're not even at ACN. And worse, trust me, look, if you can master this script, you too will be a 60-point customer as well. All right? So that was my time. I thank you guys for giving me your ears. I think customer service is the bloodline of ACN. Without customers, you won't get paid. But building a team is the heartbeat of the business. You know, when I got started, I say, who makes the most money? They said, the person with the most customers, so I want to get all of them. You know? And my mentor said, what happened to the people? And I said, well, you told me to get the most customers. And he said, look, if you get 100, if you go out and you get 60 points, that's awesome. But what if you get 60 people to get 10 points? A little bit better, right? Absolutely. And we have somebody here that is a proven builder when it comes to this opportunity. He is somebody that's dynamite, team coordinator in the business, on his way to becoming a regional director. Solid guy, a heart of gold. And I have the pleasure of bringing up Mr. Christopher Roberts.
Afternoon, ACN. Let me take a step over here. How about now? Good afternoon. All right, now I'm feeling the love. So before I say anything about myself, you know, James did an incredible job talking about customer acquisition and, you know, all right. That doesn't want me over here. It doesn't want me over here. Over here, I guess they like me a little bit better. But again, Mr. Bouvet did an incredible job talking about how to acquire customers, and I'll tell you right now, if you're working with this gentleman, do not take his time for granted, because not only does he know how to make money in this business, not only does he know how to get customers in this business, but he is building a huge business, helping so many people have success. So one more time, can we bring him back? Alright, so before I get into the information, is it alright if I just tell you a little bit about myself so we're not complete strangers? Yeah. Alright, so I'm 29 years old. I've been involved in the ACN opportunity for 3 years now. But I'll tell you right now, I'm nobody special. My whole life I've been working on cars. So I've been painting cars at an auto body shop. You know, it's a passion I had. It's something I really enjoy doing. But 3 years ago, I found myself in a position working 2 jobs, almost 100 hours a week. Not having the time I thought I should have and not having the money I thought I should have. Can anybody relate?
Yeah.
And you know, I'll be honest, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I felt like I was a hamster in a wheel, but for someone like myself, I didn't think there was anything else out there for me. You know, I didn't go to college to, you know, do something extraordinary with my life. So I'll be honest, I was stuck. But 3 years ago, when I sat exactly where you sat, saw the exact same information you just seen, I was so blown away that somebody like myself can come into an opportunity like this, put in the work that was necessary, and really achieve any dream I wanted. So I was so blown away just with the possibilities. I got started within a year and a half, hit team coordinator. Now 3 years later, we have hundreds of business partners getting paid off of thousands of customers. And the only reason all of this really happened is because of the training and support. And I had a home meeting at my house 3 years ago that now led into all of this. And that's my topic for today. My topic is building a team. Because in ACN, look, teamwork makes the dream work. You divide the task and you multiply success. You know, think about the McDonald's franchise model. Why is McDonald's the most successful restaurant on the entire planet? Because every single person in this room can make a better hamburger than McDonald's. Yes or yes? See, I understood, though, that McDonald's had 40,000 locations. When Toys R Us was in its prime, McDonald's was giving away more toys for free than Toys R Us sold. McDonald's gives away more Heinz ketchup than Heinz sells in the supermarkets. It's because they have so much distribution. And in ACN, we want to teach you exactly that. So the first thing you want to do when you're, first, we just started with this new ACN companion app. So I'll tell you right now, anybody that downloaded the app already, yes, now we have an app for that. So you want to make sure you go to the App Store, download the ACN companion app. Now, when it comes to having a home meeting, the first thing you want to do is you want to have a grand opening. Think about any business out there. What's the most important thing you do is you have a grand opening. Now, in this grand opening, what should it be? It should be grand, right? It should be big. It should be important. I see some people who get started in ACN, and they treat this like a little $499 business. And I'll tell you right now, if you treat this like a hobby, you will make hobby money. But treat this like a real business, because when you have a grand opening in a traditional business, if you had a pizzeria, if you had a bodega, a restaurant, whatever you had, you would invite everybody to this meeting. And whoever liked the food or whoever didn't, it didn't matter. You just want to have a lot of people there to see the information. And you want to do the exact same thing in ACN. Now, first thing we do is we want to schedule the date. So we call it a private business reception, short for PBR. Now, first thing we want to do is set the date. This is exactly like a wedding. We could all agree that when you get married, what's the first thing you do? You set the date. Then you invite. Whoever can make it, whoever can't, they can't. I see a lot of people, they want to call everybody they know to see when they're available and then decide to make the meeting. No, it doesn't work like that. First you set the date, then you invite. Now, we do the meetings at 4:30, 6:30, 8:30. The reason we space them out like that is the person who's coming to do your home meeting has multiple meetings to get to, so you want to give them enough time to get from meeting to meeting. Now, another thing is we never cancel a home meeting, because there's always 2 people coming to the meeting, the presenter and the person having the meeting. So if nobody showed up, there's a reason why nobody showed up. So we're going to sit there, we're going to coach you, we're going to find out what went wrong, schedule another PBR. Now, most important thing is to make a list. See, in ACN, we don't sell products, we don't sell coffees, so there is no inventory. Your inventory is your list. So you want to make a list of at least 100 people. Now, there's people in here who say, I don't know 100 people. I guarantee if I gave you $1,000 for every name you put on the list, you will write 1,000 names down very, very quickly. So you want to make a list of 100 names. The first people you want to put on that list is your A players. People who are already successful, people already making 6 figures and above. You want to put these people down on your list because they're going to be the most open-minded to business. Now, after that, you want to put business owners. Again, business owners understand business. They're going to jump on this opportunity. People already have network marketing experience. Let me tell you, when you take somebody from a coffee company and show them ACN, and they realize they can get paid on the bills, they're hooked. It's really that simple. Happy people, and then everybody else. Let me tell you about this everybody else category. That's where I was. Because I'll tell you right now, I was not part of the A-list. I was not a business owner. I was not successful. I was not even a happy person. I was so miserable at my job. Like, I hated everything about it. So I fell into the everyone else category. So you want to make sure you call everybody, because it doesn't say on someone's forehead, I'm the one. So you want to put them in front of the information and let them decide. Now, when it comes time to inviting, you want to invite as many people as possible. Your goal should be to get 10 to 20 guests in your living room. Now, here's the fact. 50% of the people you invite will not show up. That's just, we like to call it the flake ratio. Life gets in the way, flat tires, people can't get a babysitter. I always like to tell people, invite twice as many people as you could fit in your living room. That way you know you're gonna have a really good meeting. And the most important thing is the size of your meeting is gonna duplicate good or bad. So if I came to your living room and you had 1, 2, 3 people in your living room, what am I thinking? I need to have 1, 2, or 3 people in your living room. But see, when you come to an environment like this, the energy is contagious. People come in and they're just excited. They don't even know why yet. And that's the way you want your home meeting to be. You want there to be so many people excited. And the excitement will get people started in your business. Now, the inviting script is very simple. This, I like to say, is more of an outline, but this is what you really want to base it off of. Like Mr. Mackey said before, it needs to be short and sweet. So the first thing you want to do is you want to ask them, do you look at other ways of making money? This is exactly like if you were going to ask somebody to go out to dinner with you. First thing you would do is say, hey, are you hungry? And if they said yes, then you invite them out to eat, right? If they said no, I just eat, you're not going to invite them out to dinner with you. We're looking for the hungry people, so that's why the first question is, do you look at other ways of making money? Now, if they say yes, next thing you're going to do is you're going to tell them your reason why. For me, I said, listen, Francisco, I don't know if you know this or not, I've been working on cars my whole life, times are really tough, and doing what I'm doing, I'm just not really happy. So I was looking for something else, and I stumbled across a company that deals with new technology and energy. But let me tell you about the person that I met. I met an individual by the name of Mr. Cody Mackey. He is expanding something significant in this area. He is helping so many people have success. I don't even know how, but I got him to come to my living room Tuesday at 7:30. Tell me you can make it. And then on top of that, you want to set up a confirmation call. And if they say yes, they can make it, hey, listen, expect someone from his office to call you and confirm your attendance. The confirmation call and the edification of the speaker are the most important things when you're inviting somebody out to the opportunity. Honestly, it doesn't matter what you said until here, as long as you do a good job edifying the person who's coming to your living room and setting up that confirmation call that is not you confirming them, it is somebody else, you're going to get people in your living room. And the thing is, just do it over and over and over and over until that living room is packed up like it needs to be. Now, this is the PBR checklist. I'm not going to go too far into detail. The person working with you, they're going to go over this with you. But a couple key pointers. Number one, you want to make sure the video is ready and tested. There's nothing more embarrassing than when you go to start the presentation and the video does not work. Believe me, I've been there. And another thing, anything cuter than the presenter, get it out of the room. See, if there's, any cute babies or cute dogs, believe me, I'm a dog person. If any of my dogs were out, nobody would be paying attention to me right now. Same thing with kids. Kids are so adorable. My father just had a baby. Actually, let's give it up to him for that. 68 years old, and got a 48-hour-old baby, right? So again, but if the baby was in the room, nobody would be paying attention to me right now. And the most important thing is have fun. You have to have fun. This business has to be fun. People do not want to go from a stressful job to a stressful presentation. They want to get into an environment when it's fun, when it's exciting. One of the first things that hooked me into ACN was the amount of positive people that are in the room. Everybody at my job was so miserable. When I got in this environment, I was like, oh my God, people are so happy. I never experienced anything like this. Now, the role of the host is very simple. It's actually the role that my father played today when he opened up the room. But first thing you want to do is you want to welcome the guests. Tell them to turn off their phones. Tell them to hold their questions to the end. All right, over here. Do not apologize for I'm not going over here no more, guys. Sorry, over here. Do not apologize for no-shows. Edify the speaker. Talk about their past. Talk about their present. Talk about their future. Sit through the presentation. Let me tell you something about when it's your PBR. You need to be sitting there. Your phone should not even be in the room, or leave it in your pocket. Take notes, because let me tell you something. You're the reason why people are going to sign up. You're also the reason why people are not going to sign up. Because in ACN, if you have success, it's because of you. If you don't have success, it's also because of you. Because your people are looking at you. How serious is Francisco about this business? How, is he really paying attention? Is he really serious about this? And if they see you're dead serious about this, they're going to be dead serious about the business as well. Sit through the presentation, take notes, never interrupt the speaker. And after the presentation, we're going to sort through the people and see who the people are. If they're red apples, we're going to sign them up. If they're green apples, they might have some questions. And if they're brown apples, we're just going to move on. Now, pretty simple. If they say yes, you want to sign them up. You want to pencil in a home meeting. You want to invite them to the Saturday training where they can come and learn more about the ACN opportunity. If they have questions, ask them, is it about becoming a business partner or is it about becoming a customer? And again, the more questions they have, invite them to Saturday training. I'll be honest, I don't like to answer a lot of questions at a home meeting because most people who come from a home meeting to a Saturday training will get started because those questions get answered. So just invite them to come out on a Saturday training. And if they say no, thank them, ask them for a referral, ask them to become a customer. If they don't want to become a customer and they don't want to give you a referral, I'll be honest, just show them where the door is. You don't want to waste any more time on a negative person. And that is my topic. So I hope you guys got something out of this. Now, the next gentleman that I could bring up to talk about the compensation plan is honestly somebody that I've had so much respect for since the day I got started in ACN. Because when he got started in ACN, he was already a team coordinator. He was already having massive success. And the crazy thing is, he's so much younger than me, but I have so much respect for him just because who he is as a person. I mean, spiritually, he's a pastor. He's got it there. Fitness-wise, his muscles have muscles. He's a bodybuilder. He's a team coordinator in ACN. His wisdom, I mean, honestly, I can't say enough about this person. He graduated college, never even had to get a job because of the ACN opportunity, but I'm not going to steal his story, so please stand to your feet. Help me welcome up to the front of the room, team coordinator, Ramon Matala.
I just want to give it back to my business partner, Mr. Chris. I met Chris a couple of years ago, and when he first joined ACN, he would not say anything. He would come to the meetings and he would just sit, and all he did was learn. He learned and learned and learned. And the last few years, he has helped a lot of people have success in ACN. And today, he's now a team coordinator, and I'm really excited for him because I know he's going to be a regional director. He's going to be a regional vice president. He's going to get to the top of this company because he just loves helping people. So let's give it back to my business partner. Those of you that don't know me, my name is Samuel. I looked at ACN at 19. I was 19 years old when I saw ACN. I was a college student. I was not looking for anything. I was just doing what my parents taught me, go to school, get a degree, get a job. But in my sophomore year in college, someone approached me with ACN. And even though I was not looking for an opportunity, it made a lot of sense. And I told myself I would do ACN part-time just to make extra income, and I would pursue my career of being a doctor full-time. And what happened was, one of the requirements to be a doctor is you have to go shadow a doctor. You have to go work with the doctor in the summer for you have to do like 120 hours. And while I was working with the doctor, I realized that I did not want to be a doctor anymore because he made a lot of money, but he had no lifestyle. And one of the things that kind of convinced me that I did not want to go that route was on his wedding anniversary, he had to come to work. And not only did he have to come to work, he had the secretary buy his wife the gift for his anniversary. And I was just looking at him like, you have all this money, all this money, but you have no time and you have no lifestyle. So I decided to do physical therapist. But in my junior year in college, I hit a position called team coordinator. And I was making about the same thing a physical therapist make. And I said, why would I graduate college and go get a loan, just to go be a physical therapist to make what I'm making now as a team coordinator. So I just decided to do ACN full time. And ACN has been a blessing for me. I tell people, ACN allows me to do what I love. Number one, I love talking about God. I believe that God's principles are the way to have success. So I'm a pastor at 25. So a lot of people see me and I tell them, look, for me, just talking about God is something that I love. And not having a job have allowed me to do it full time. So as a pastor, I get to talk about God. And I love fitness. As a matter of fact, right now, I'm actually trying out to play professional soccer. So there's everything that I love. ACN have allowed me the opportunity to do the things without having thinking about money or thinking about bills. ACN just takes care of that, and I get to do what I love. So I'm going to talk about the compensation plan. Who wants to know how we make money here? Yeah. One thing I learned is if you know how the money works, you'll be motivated to go get the money. The Bible says where there's no vision, people what? And if you read that verse in a different translation, it means where there's no vision, there's no discipline. So if I don't know what is in front of me, it's hard for me to discipline myself to go get what is what in front of me. So many of you don't have discipline in your ACN business because you don't understand what the lifestyle is as regional vice president. Some of you are not disciplined because you don't understand the lifestyle as senior vice president. Or some of you are not pushing hard enough because you have no idea what being a team coordinator can do for you. So where there's no vision, people perish. And if you see yourself being lazy, you need to have something that pulls you. All right? So this is the ACN compensation plan. Number one, we get paid in 3 different ways. The number one way we get paid is called personal residual income. Can we say that together? Personal residual income. All right, so ACN pays you from 1 to 10%, but this is how we get the 10%. Number one, if you have between 1 to 29 points, you only get 1% of the bill every single month. If you have 30 to 39 points, how many percent you get? 3%. If you have 40 to 59 points, how many percent you get? 5%. And if you have 60 points, you get how many percent? So how many points should you have? 60. Those of you that didn't answer, how many points should you have? 60 points. If you don't have 60 points, you're leaving money on the table. Let's say, for example, you go out and get a bill that's $1,000, and you have what? 26 points. So instead of getting $100, how much do you get?
10.
Right? Some of us are not good at math. Right? But you want to get everything that ACN is paying you. So you want to go ahead and get your 60 points. Tell the person next to you, go get your 60 points. They didn't hear you. Tell them again. Go get your 60 points.
Go get 60 points. Good.
Now also, 60 points does not only allow you to get 10% on your own bills, but it allows you to get the full overriding residual income from level 1 to level 7. Let's say, for example, someone falls on level 4 or level 5 or level 6. If you don't have 60 points, you might not get paid on them. So not only are you stopping yourself from making your full residual income, you're denying yourself the ability to get paid on all your team members. So make sure you get your 60 points so you can get compensated fully in the ACN compensation plan. Now we already understand you get 2 from 0.25% to 8%. Not only will ACN pay you personal residual income on your customers, but ACN will pay you residual income on your team's customers. Now when I joined ACN at 19, my first excuse I had from my mentor was I had no credibility. And you know what he told me? Go find someone that has credibility. I said, I don't know a lot of people. He said, find someone that knows a lot of people. Because if your team works, not only do they get paid, but you get a percentage of your team work. So ACN takes away all your excuses. You can build ACN. You don't have to be a superstar. Just go find your stars. Now, regional vice president, like I said, you have to know what the top earners in the company are making, so you are excited to get to that position. Like everyone I meet, I tell them I will be a millionaire before I'm 30. Why? Because I know what senior vice presidents make. If you don't know what they make, it's hard for you to be excited about ACN. When you meet a doctor, you meet a lawyer, it doesn't matter what they make. because our senior vice president will make more. So you can have the confidence to talk to anyone knowing what the compensation plan is. So as a regional vice president, you get 1.5% of all the billing. And remember, you get paid from level 1 to level 7, right?
Yeah.
What happens to all the other levels?
Nothing.
You don't get paid on it until you become what? A regional vice president. So if you're building a big team, you want to get to what? Regional vice president. My mentor, Mr. Robert Scher, became a regional vice president a couple of months ago. And when he got his first check as a regional vice president, he called me so excited. He got me, just on the phone call alone, I wanted to be a regional vice president. I said, what if I got him so excited? Now, you know Robert, he doesn't get that excited. So if he got excited on the phone, I'm like, whatever it is, I want to have that, right? Now, as a platinum, you get 30% of all the bills. As a senior vice president, you get 3.5% on all the billing that you bring. Now, senior vice president have to have a minimum billing of $500,000 a month. So just do the math. Once you hear senior vice president, what the money is. Like I said, it's all about having something that pulls you. You know, when your vision is not very clear, the discipline is not there for you to go after the things that you want to go after. And every single one of us here joined ACN because we wanted that dream home, we wanted to spend time with people we love. Whatever it is that made you join ACN, you have to know the vehicle that will get you there, all right? Now, you already understand, as a qualified team trainer, to qualify, how many points do you need? 7 points. Now, to be an ETT, which is, to me, is the most important position in ACN. To be an ETT, you need to help 2 people become what? Qualified team trainers. What I love about ACN is this. ACN does not pay you unless you help somebody else. So if you don't have a servant mentality, you will not do very well in ACN. You have to have a servant attitude for you to do very good in ACN. It's all about helping other people. I remember when I was going team coordinator and I was counting down the points, I'm like, man, I need 40 points left. I had 20 points left. And I remember talking to Mr. Kodimaki, and he said, stop counting the points. He said, if you count the points, you will never get there. He said, count how many people can you help get to ETT. And when I did that, that's when I hit team coordinator. Those of you that are on your run to team coordinator, stop counting the points. Start counting how many ETTs can I create? How many ETLs can I create? When you help more people, if you have everybody get what they want, you what? You'll get everything you want. Now, ETL is exactly the same thing. You help somebody, if you become a QTT, help somebody become a QTT. You become an ETT, help somebody become an ETT. So you have 2 people become an ETT, you become what? An ETL. And ETLs get, for every time they help someone become an ETT, how much do they get? $100 bonus for helping them do what they have to do anyways. Now, team coordinators is a total of 600 points, but I love how they broke it down. 600 points looks like a lot, but think about it, is 10 people getting how many points? 60 points. How many points do you need to get full residual income?
60 points.
So if you really have 10 people in your team who are serious and sold out for the ACN opportunity, you become a team coordinator. You don't need 100 people, you need 10, 60 points. What if you have 4 teams that have 150 points each? 600 points. Team coordinators make a whole lot of money. That's why you see them smiling all the time, right? They get $300 for every ETT that they get. So now, let's say they get 1 ETT for the month. 1 ETT, now you gotta know what is in front of you so you can go get it. Let's say you're a team coordinator and you have 1 person become an ETT. Now, they will pay you how much? $300 for what? Each person that joined. So 300 is how much? 900. Now then, they will also pay you $300 for helping them become an ETT. How much is that?
1,200.
And they will pay an additional $100. How much is that?
1,300.
So as a team coordinator, if you help 1 person become an ETT in 1 month, how much do you get? $1,300. For helping how many people?
1 person.
Help 1 person become an ETT, you get $13. What if you help 2 people? What if you help 10 people? You want to hear the most I've done in 1 month? 55. Right? There's no, ACN does not stop you. You can go help 100 people. And my mentors have helped hundreds and hundreds of people in 1 month. the money is on the table, but you have to get excited, but not only stay excited, but you have to go do the work. Now, regional director is exactly the same thing. How two will become a team coordinator and you will get promoted. It's all about helping people, and the bonuses get crazier and crazier and crazier. Regional vice presidents, same thing, senior vice president, more bonuses. It's all about helping people get to the leadership position. Now, we're gonna talk about events, right? And I'm very excited about events because when I joined ACN, I had so many excuses. How many of you have excuses? How many of you would not admit you have excuses? Now, when I joined, I had so many excuses, and I wanted to find the simplest way to build my business. Because I was very busy. I was playing soccer, I was running track, I was helping my dad run the church, and I was a full-time student, and here comes ACN. And my mentor told me, if you can learn how to promote events, if you can learn how to get people to events that we have, you will be very successful in ACN. And that's all I have to learn. And we have someone that will teach you how to get people to events. Someone that have done it so well. He's a senior vice president. He's a Circle Champions member. People like him are the people that ACN trusts to help develop the next wave of leaders. I have a lot of respect for him, especially as a spiritual guy. He has ACN figured out, but he's not just good in ACN. He has a great family life, has a great spiritual life. He looks in shape, So just join me, stand on your feet, put your hands together, and let's bring our senior vice president, Circle Champions member, Mr. Bill Matthews.
Well, hello again. Haven't all the trainers done an excellent job today? So we're going to wrap up today by talking about really the most important part of ACN, and that's attending events. When you look at this event today, who in here learned something today that you can apply to your business? What is so crazy about attending an event like this, that as great as the event is, every single one of us here literally missed about 90% of the information. You know why? Because when you hear something, our brain can only absorb about 10% of the information. So when I come to big events like this and I get so excited, I think man, imagine if I actually heard everything they said. You know what I mean? Because we get so excited about ACN. So, they talked about the international train events and how important these are. I just want to tell you my story about an international train event that I went to when I was new in ACN. And that was Detroit, Michigan. That was my first big international train event. So this is a local meeting we have here, a local training. We have a big event coming up in Cleveland, coming up here in 34 days. Who's excited about Cleveland? It's going to be incredible, right? So this is our next international training event. And my first international training event was in Detroit, Michigan. Cleveland will be my 50th consecutive international training event. So 50 in a row. I've attended and obviously had to overcome many obstacles over the years to get there. My first event, I'll never forget, I was brand new in ACN, had just joined ACN, and my mentor started promoting this event in Detroit. Now, I don't know if you've ever been in a place where you're not broke, like you're below broke, right? So when he started talking about Detroit, I'm living in Maryland, and I'm thinking I can't even go home in Maryland to see my parents. You understand? Because if you've ever been that broke, no gas, who's ever had no gas money? Who's ever had every credit card maxed out? Who's ever owed people money? And who's ever had a car that won't go any more than any type of distance, right? So I had no money to go. I had every credit card maxed out. I had owed people money, so I couldn't go to people and ask for more money. My car was an in-town car only, right? Which just means don't put it on the highway. It'll overheat. It'll break down. You just don't trust it to go anywhere. So my mentor started promoting this big event in Detroit. And I'm thinking in my mind, okay, it must be great, but there's no way I can go because I just don't have the money. So I remember he came up to me and said, hey, listen, we're so excited about Detroit and can't wait to see you there. And I was like, well, listen, I'm not going to be able to go, just don't have any money and I have to work and I have all these things going on. And I'll never forget what he told me. He said, do you want to win big in ACN? I said, yes. He said, there has never been anyone win big in ACN that does not go to the international train event. So he said, you don't have to go. But by not going, you're just saying you don't want to become a regional vice president or a senior vice president. So I still remember today how I was thinking at that time, and here was what was going through my head. Why is it this guy won't take my excuses that I'm giving him? And then I learned that a friend loves you the way that you are, but a mentor loves you too much to leave you the way that you are, right? So I was making all these excuses why I couldn't go to Detroit, and everything that I told him, he just kept saying, figure it out, you have to go, you can't miss it, figure it out. So long story short, here's what I had to do to attend my first event. In my apartment at the time, I had, and again, this was 13 years ago, so a lot has changed, 12 years ago, but it used to be that when you wanted to listen to music, you just couldn't stream the music on your wireless box. Never got it. Used to be if you want to listen to music, you needed a receiver, and then you needed a disc changer, then you needed an equalizer. Yes or no? Who remembers this, right? And you had a big stack of the stereo equipment, and you had that glass case that it all set in, and you opened the glass case. Yes or no? It's real big, right? So I had all my stereo equipment, from high school, and I had my big subwoofer and my speakers, and this was like my pride and joy. Who in here had the pride and joy growing up? Your speaker system, right? Stereo system. Some of you are like, what? What is this? So what I did is I took all of that to my local pawn shop and I sold all of it. Okay, so I sold every electronic in my home to my local pawn shop because that was the only thing valuable I had in my life that I could sell to get money to go to this international training event. So my mentor, Aaron Bird, he said, if you get to the event, he said, I'll get your hotel room for you. What he didn't tell me was, he told that to 14 other people. So I sold all the electronics in my home, right? I got my registration, got my plane ticket, and I get to the hotel, I'll never forget, there were like all these suitcases lined up outside the hotel, and I'm like, what is going on, right? So long story short, I slept on the floor. Half my body was in the bathroom, half my body was in the hallway. No pillow, no blanket. That's how I stayed at my first convention Friday night and Saturday night. Because when you have 15 people in one hotel room, you cannot call down to the front desk and ask for anything. Right? Because if anyone from that hotel comes to your room, what are they going to do? You're all out of here, right? Get out. So, what's so nuts looking back is, that hotel room, Keon Lomax, which is now a regional vice president in our group, he was a brand new IBO. I'll never forget, he was sleeping on the pull-out couch, right, in that same room. He was a brand new IBO, now a regional vice president. I'm a senior vice president. So that's how I started. My second convention that I got to still had no money, and I just made up my mind that I was going to get to this event. So I went to every single bank in my local town to try to get a personal loan to raise money to go to this convention. Every bank that I went into turned me down because they all asked the same question. Okay, well, welcome. Let's pull your credit. When you have bad credit and someone says, let's pull your credit, what goes through your mind? Oh no, right? So they pulled my credit and they're like, okay, well, your credit's not good. So what type of assets do you have that we can use as collateral, to give you a personal loan? And when your response is nothing, how much money do you think the bank gives you? Nothing, right? So I was just so determined because where there's a will, there's always what? A way. So I just went to every bank. I went to 30 banks in the town that I lived in. Every location that I could find, I went in. Because when you make up your mind you're going to do something, there's no such thing as obstacles. See, what we do is we say stuff like this. Well, Lord, if you make a way for me to get there, I'll be there. No, you have to make up your mind you're going, and then put in the work, and then the Lord will make a way for you to get there. Amen. Make sense? There's a big difference. There's a big difference between me just sitting around and saying, Lord, if it be thy will for me to get to Cleveland, I'm going to go. No, you're not going to go. Because you're not even attempting to go. You're just waiting for something to happen. So that second event, the way that I got there, Kenny Newborn, which is now a regional vice president at ACN, he still worked at Wells Fargo at the time. And I don't know for a fact, but I'm thinking he did something illegal to get me the loan. I don't know. He never told me, but I have no idea. He got me a $1,000 personal loan. the interest rate was 37%. Okay? So this was before like the Dodd-Frank Act and the banking regulations. Like it used to be, like the banks could just destroy you with interest, right? Before a lot of the housing prices and all this stuff, right? So that's how I got to my second event. Okay, my third event was still a struggle, but because I went to my first two events, I was able to start making some money and be able to pay to go to the event. So listen, we all have the same reasons why people say they can't go. Well, I don't have any money. Make it happen. Sell something. Go after it. Go get it. We have people that have bake sales, yard sales, garage sales, sell stuff to pawn shops, do whatever they have to do to raise the funds to go. People say, well, I can't go. I have kids. Well, so do I. My wife and I have 4 kids. When they were young, we'd take them to convention with us. When we were young, we would sit our kids beside us at convention. Greg Provenzano actually says, bring your kids. He said, I think it's a great environment for your kids to be raised in the International Training Event. People say, well, I can't go, I have to work. I know, we don't want to work. Look, there's a difference between you asking off and you taking off. Yes or no? See, if you really need time off, you can get off. Here's why people can't get off work for the International Training Event. Here's what they say to their boss. Excuse me, miss, did you get a chance to check the request off box? I put that slip in a couple weeks ago. I just wanted to see if, you'd be able to let me off that day. Oh yeah, look, but we're not letting you off. You have to work. And then you call your upline. Listen, I tried to get off work. I just couldn't get off. See, the way you take off work, here's what you do. Because I've had so many leaders do this over the years. Listen, just want to let you know, I have a personal thing I have to take care of. A personal thing, right? You give them the days. You say, I cannot be at work these days. Whatever you need me to do leading up to that or coming off, if you need me to work overtime, nights, come in early to make up the work, I'll do whatever you need me to do. But I'm just letting you know, I cannot be here that weekend. See, that's how you get off of work versus taking off work. Makes sense to everyone? How you doing? Let me tell you something that your company or boss won't tell you. If you're a good worker, they don't want to fire you.
That's true.
They do not want to fire you at all because it costs them a lot more money to hire someone else and retrain them to teach them what you know. So stop being so scared that by taking a couple days off work, you're going to get fired. You just need to have a little bit of backbone in you that says, I'm taking off work and I'm going. Who in here is going? You just have to go. And if you get fired, it's not my fault. I just had to clear the air there. Do it at your own risk. All right. So ACN events. Elevates vision, eliminates negative thought. Okay, so what are events in ACN? Conference calls, 3-way calls, 2-on-1 meetings, PBRs, weekly VOMs, regional trainings, leadership, product training, international training. So new IBOs say, well, how much training do I need to get in ACN to win? Here's what I tell people I'm working with that are serious. Until you're the speaker in front of the room, come to training. And then when you're the speaker in the front of the room, you'll want to come to training because all your team's at training. Make sense?
Yes.
Because until you can do what the speakers do, you need to continue to train. Because this business is not about you being in front of the room training. This business is about having a team so large and so many Saturday trainings going on that people don't even know who you are and you become a myth in ACN. See, here's what's so crazy about our business. The people that you think make the most money in ACN don't make the most money in ACN. The people that make the most money in ACN are people that are at convention that you don't even know who they are. Because their team is up on this stage training. And they have so many leaders in their team up on the stage training, you don't even know who they are. Who in here besides me wants to become a myth in ACN? Listen, I don't need the recognition. Just give me the checks. Does that make sense? I don't need the recognition. Just give me the check. I would much rather my team be on the stage training and getting all the recognition and me just sitting there and being proud of my team, right? So to go through that full cycle, you have to learn enough to be able to become the speaker and the trainer eventually, and then learn enough and grow enough where it's now your group and your team that's doing the training. So right now, within my organization, we have 13 Saturday trainings going on right now, right? Within our team, within coalitions. We have 13 separate meetings going on right now across the country. Now, how did it happen? How did it get to that point? It's because I started it 12 and a half, almost 13 years ago, putting on a training in my area because no one was there. I was in ETT in ACN when I started my own training. Okay? And you know why I did that? Because there was no one doing the training. Here, you're so blessed you can plug into a training and you already have everything set up. And don't try to be a little Napoleon and go start your own thing. That's what we call it in our group. People trying to break away and go start their own training because they're now ETL. Well, I'm an ETL. I'm going to go start my own training. Well, here's something you don't understand yet about our business. Whatever you do duplicates.
That's right.
So if you go start your own training, guess what your downline does? Go starts their own training. And then before you know it, you have 100 different trainings going on with 10 people, kind of like our churches today. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a whole other topic.
Go ahead.
Okay? So, home meetings is the lowest level in ACN, right? Smallest meeting. So we go from the home meetings, and then we go to the, what are we here now? Weekly meeting. And then we go to the what? ETT class, the leadership class, right? And then we go to the big events that we have, which is the national convention. So it's all building on top of each other. It's like if you want to become a brain surgeon, right? Well, there's certain things that you have to go through to be able to become a brain surgeon. So if you miss one of those steps, you're never going to become a surgeon. And if you miss one of the steps and you don't attend these events, what you're saying is you don't want to go RVP, you don't want to go SVP, because our actions speak louder than what? Words. So don't say that you're serious about going regional vice president, senior vice president, but you're not going to be in Cleveland. Because everyone that's serious about going RVP and SVP will be in Cleveland. Who's fired up about Cleveland? So here's what you want to do. You want to text ACN Freedom to 77948. That'll keep you in communication and contact with this weekly meeting. Aren't you guys so excited that you have leaders that put together this meeting? Yes. Listen, it is amazing where you can just plug into something that's already been set up, that's already been created, okay? So we have a big event coming up. Financial Freedom Group presents Super Saturday Training. Is this going to be next week? Or next Saturday? Okay, so this is going to be next Saturday here. And what incredible leaders you guys have. I mean, my goodness, people that have already achieved so much success in ACN are willing to take their time and their talents and their knowledge and their skill set and teach you. So why don't you give all your leaders just a big round of applause. So this is going to be next Saturday, and this is going to be here, same location. So if I was building in this marketplace, here's what I would be doing. Home meetings all week, and then promoting the Saturday training from all the home meetings. So taking all those people from the home meetings and making sure that they come to Saturday training. Then we have this guy coming. Glad I didn't wear that suit. That would have been weird. Aaron Burr was telling me a story not too long ago where they had made a flyer and he just never saw the flyer, I guess. So he pulled up the flyer and he was wearing the same clothes. Oh, it's gotta be fun. Okay. So obviously that's the event we're here. And then we have the big event, Cleveland, coming up. So listen. I will not beg anyone to get involved in ACN, but I am begging you. Go to Cleveland. Don't think about the cost to get there. You have to think of the value that this is going to give you. The value that it's going to give your business is something that I cannot even explain. See, not going to Cleveland because of cost is saying this. Well, you know, they say that there's a river of gold underground in my backyard. I own the property. And they say it's there. And other people have dug some up that own property next door, and they've gotten the gold. But let me tell you something. Have you seen the price of shovels? That's like saying you can't go to Cleveland because it costs too much to get there. If you understood the value of what this event will do for you, it will change your life. Because didn't you learn something today? Yeah. What do you think you're going to learn in 3 days from all the top people in the company? See, you leave with so much knowledge and so much inspiration and so much excitement that you literally become like Mario Brother. Remember Mario Brother when he hit the star, right? And he just went crazy. So if you're not registered, you go to acnreg.com. That's where you register. Get registered today if you're not registered. And let's do this. Stand up if you're already registered or you're going to get registered, just so we can see you all. Let's give it all. Okay, so we're going to show a quick video here. The video is an amazing video because this is recorded at our international training event. So it gives you a brief idea of what these events are like. And as soon as the video is over, I know Nassim has a couple announcements to wrap up the day. But again, thank you so much for having me here today. And enjoy the video.